It's Thursday night. Sarah closes her laptop and sees the credit card alert on her phone. $340 at Home Goods. Again. Her chest tightens. She doesn't say anything when Mark walks in holding 2 bags and a new lamp. He smiles. "You're gonna love this. It was on sale." She nods, forces a smile back. Doesn't mention the alert. Doesn't mention the emergency fund that hasn't grown in 6 months. Doesn't mention that this is the 3rd sale this week. Mark sees her face. The smile fades. He sets the bags down. This isn't new. This is every week. Different purchase, same fight. Same wall between them. It started small. A year into marriage, maybe less. Mark would grab dinner out after work. Sarah would check the budget that night and feel her stomach drop. $40 for one meal. She'd bring it up gently. "Maybe we could meal prep on Sundays?" He'd agree, then forget. Or he'd remember, but see a friend, and priorities shifted. To Mark, it wasn't about the money. It was about living, about not feeling strangled by a spreadsheet, about enjoying the life they were working so hard to build. To Sarah, every unplanned expense was a small betrayal, a crack in the foundation, a step away from the security she desperately needed. The pattern deepened. Mark bought things that made life better now. New shoes, a nicer coffee maker, tickets to a game. He wasn't reckless. He paid the bills. He worked hard. He just didn't see the point in hoarding money for some distant catastrophe that might never come. Sarah saved everything she could. She tracked every dollar. She said no to dinners, to trips, to anything that wasn't essential. Not because she didn't want those things, because she couldn't breathe without a cushion beneath them. And slowly, they stopped talking about money altogether. Mark hid purchases, small ones. He'd delete the email receipt, pay with cash. Tell himself it wasn't lying, it was just avoiding another fight. Sarah checked the accounts obsessively. She saw every charge. Every hidden transaction felt like proof. He doesn't care. He doesn't get it. We're not safe. The resentment grew. Mark felt controlled, judged, like a child asking permission to live his own life. Sarah felt abandoned. Reckless spending felt like rejection, like he was choosing momentary pleasure over their future, over her. They were both exhausted, both convinced the other was wrong, both silently wondering if this was just how it would always be. Mark would think, "I work 50 hours a week. I pay my half. I'm not out here blowing money on stupid stuff. I just want to enjoy what we have. Why does every little thing have to be a referendum on our future? Why can't she trust me? I'm not her dad. I'm not going to abandon her. But I also can't live like this. Like every dollar I spend is a betrayal." Sarah, on the other hand, would think, "He doesn't see it. He doesn't see how fragile this all is. One job loss, one medical bill, one bad month, and we're underwater. I'm not trying to control him. I'm trying to protect us. But he just keeps spending like none of it matters. Like I'm the crazy one for caring. I feel so alone in this." Neither of them is wrong. Mark isn't irresponsible. Sarah isn't controlling. They're just reacting to completely different fears. They weren't fighting about money. They were fighting about safety. Mark spent because restriction felt like suffocation, like life was passing him by, like he was working for a future that never arrived. Sarah saved because spending felt like falling, like the ground was disappearing beneath her, like the only control she had was the number in that account. The money was just the language. The real conversation was about trust, fear, and whether they were building the same life. This is one of the most common financial conflicts in marriage, and it's rarely about discipline or math. It's about money scripts, the beliefs we inherit, usually without knowing it. For some people, money means freedom, flexibility, the ability to say yes to life. Saving feels like deprivation. Restriction feels like punishment. For others, money means security, a buffer against chaos, the ability to say no to panic. Spending feels like losing ground. Uncertainty feels like danger. Neither script is right or wrong, but when two people are operating from opposite scripts, every transaction becomes a conflict. Mark wasn't trying to hurt Sarah. He was trying to not disappear. Sarah wasn't trying to control Mark. She was trying to not fall. The problem is that neither of them knew what the other was actually afraid of, so they kept reacting to the behavior, while the fear underneath stayed invisible. Here's what helps. Stop talking about the purchases. Start talking about the fears. Once a week, sit down together, not after a fight, not when you're triggered, and ask each other one question. What does financial security actually feel like to you? Not what it looks like, not the number in the account, what it feels like. For Sarah, it might be, I need to know we can survive 6 months without income. That's when I can breathe. For Mark, it might be, I need to know we're not just surviving, that we're actually living. Now you're not fighting about a lamp. You're building a shared definition of safety. From there, create a plan that honors both. Maybe that's a non-negotiable savings goal that Sarah can see growing every month. A guilt-free spending amount that Mark can use without explanation. Maybe it's 3 financial priorities you both agree on. 1 monthly money meeting where nothing is off limits. The tool doesn't matter as much as the agreement underneath it. We're on the same team. We both get to feel safe. Financial peace in marriage doesn't come from one person winning. It comes from both people being willing to step inside the other's fear and building something that protects you both. Mark isn't the enemy. Sarah isn't the warden. They're two people trying to survive in a world that feels uncertain, using the only strategies they know. The saver isn't wrong for wanting stability. The spender isn't wrong for wanting to live. But if they keep fighting the behavior instead of understanding the fear, they'll stay stuck in the same loop. Same purchases, same silence, same distance. The way forward isn't compromise, it's clarity. It's sitting down and saying out loud what you're actually afraid of, and then building a financial life where both of you get to feel safe, seen, and trusted. That's the work. That's the marriage. Your money problems aren't about money. Start the real conversation.